Oh, recording. Today we're going to be talking about the 1DX2. So welcome back to the channel, guys. If you guys are new here, my name is David Lee. I'm a photographer and cinematographer to help you improve your visual content through tutorials, advice, and entertain you guys with my own content. Since last week, we talked about the Ronin S 6 months later. I wanted to kind of push on that and kind of go to... I kind of wanted to push on that and go to the 1DX2 a while in. I honestly don't know how long I've owned this camera. It could be 7 months, 8 months, not completely sure. I really wanted to go in and talk about what I still love about this camera and the few of the things that I picked up that I actually don't like about it. The things that kind of like really bug me and kind of irk me, you know? I really wanted to go in on that. So today we're going to be talking about that. Before we get started, let me know in the comments below, let me know what is your dream camera, whether it's the 1DX2, the A7 III, or the Red, the Ari Alexa, whatever it may be. Let me know in the comments below because I'm super curious to see where you guys are aiming for. So let me know and let's just jump straight into it. That was dangerous. So the first obvious thing that me and, you know, everyone else that knows what the 1DX2 loves is the buttery smooth 120 frames per second slow motion. Now that is beautiful. It's like the most butter thing on earth that I've ever seen. Like there's nothing smoother than that. Like the 120 on the 1DX2 is amazing. I mean, compared to like a Red or something, of course those are gonna be better because they're shot in RAW and you get more detail of it. But in a DSLR, the 1DX2 has everything beat with the 120 frames per second. The slow-mo in this is insane. I love it. I use it all the time. Of course, when you're shooting in that, it doesn't record any audio no matter what camera you're using, but who cares? See, I love the 120 on this because it's inside of a DSLR for one, and two, it's just really smooth. Like, I get it, 120 frames per second is gonna be smooth regardless of what camera you're shooting on. The 1DX2 in itself, the detail that comes out of this camera is amazing, and to be able to capture all of that in the slow motion is still really awesome, and to be able to save all of that in all-eye. When you're shooting in 120 frames per second, it shoots in 60 frames per second all-eye as like a foundation, and then it kind of slows it down by half while keeping that 60 frames per second. So that's really cool because you can even slow down that 120 FPS by 40% more because it's shooting in 60 frames per second all-eye, and the all-eye is keeping all the detail for you. In the end, you're left with an amazing 120 frames per second slow motion shot that retains so much detail. That's why I love the 120 FPS on the 1DX2. Now let's talk. Ooh! Now let's talk about the touchscreen. The touchscreen is amazing. I can touchscreen autofocus, I can touchscreen to focus before a picture, I can touchscreen to make sure that things are, you know, sharp, things are intact, that I'm focusing on the right thing and not just focusing on the background. Now the touchscreen autofocus has helped me a lot in so many situations, whether it's video or photo. In photo shoots, sometimes the face tracking doesn't work because the face may be too dark, so I touchscreen to focus and it works like a charm. Now, the video, I'll get into that later. Touchscreen autofocus for video helps out a ton, especially when I'm using the Ronin S. Now, it's kind of the only way that I use any focusing techniques because it's the easiest way, it's the fastest way, and since the 1DX2 doesn't have any peaking or focus peaking or any type of focus assistance, the touchscreen autofocus is probably the best way for focusing on the 1DX2 unless you're using an external monitor with peaking on it. Now, a lot of you, especially if you're doing video, may not even care about this aspect of the 1DX2, but as a photographer myself, man, I am in love with this. So when a girl tells you, oh no, I think I blinked, you didn't blink, don't worry. See, I shoot people a lot, and the best way to get a smile out of them, to be able to see, like, make sure that you got the shot, like make sure you're in focus and just do this. They'll start laughing because, you know, like most photographers, most like portrait photographers, they don't really carry around a 1DX2. It's kind of like a sports thing. So when they hear that, they're like, ha ha ha, Oh my god, that's so loud, haha, that's so fast, haha. But yeah, it's really fun. You definitely don't get shots of them blinking. I mean, you do, but you also don't. You get so many shots. Now, the downside to doing it like that is I usually come back to about 4,000 pictures to edit after a photo shoot. But hey, as long as I got the shot, right? And now we're gonna talk about the ergonomics. The ergonomics are crazy. I love the way the buttons are placed, where everything's placed. This is the shutter up here, and then down here, or like right next to it, I have a button that can help me switch modes between my manual mode and then my slow motion, you know, flat profile look. Now that helps out a ton because it's just at a push of a button, I can switch and start shooting. I will never miss a moment. I love that that's right next to each other. Then we got our ISO and our white balance. Everything we need is right up here, along with this wheel to turn for our shutter speed, and then an aperture wheel down here. And then, you know, everything's just placed so strategically. You get all your file settings down here in the corner, whether it's the file name, the folder, the card that it's on, the image quality, is it RAW, is it JPEG, you get the play button, you get the zoom in, you get the trash, you get the lock, you get everything in one place so that it makes it easier to find for you later. Whew, I'm drooling a little bit, talk too much. Now the battery life is pretty insane. I can leave my 1DX2 on for a really long time, so I think I ran on 2 batteries for a good, say, 9 hours, maybe 8 or 9 hours, just on 2 batteries with a 1DX2 on video mode for the most part. So video, of course, drains your battery because the screen is on and so many things are happening, and if you leave it on, it's gonna drain faster. For about 75% of the time, my screen was on because I forgot to turn it off. It was sitting on my Ronin S, I was shooting a wedding, and kind of just left it there. But turns out I could use it for the entire day. I also shot a festival where my 1DX2, well, one battery was fully charged and the other one was half battery. So I ran on 1.5 batteries for 12 hours, shooting time lapses. So my camera was literally doing the burst. It was doing the whole time, and it lasted. So the battery life is pretty insane, along with the dual memory card slot that really helps out in case you run out of space on one. You can record straight to the other, and it'll save you a lot of time between switching. And the last thing that I really like about the 1DX2 is the locking system for the memory cards and the batteries. So rather than having a button or like a slider, you actually have to go in, pull it out, turn it, and then drag out the battery. The memory card slot kind of has the same thing. So you flip it up, turn it, and it opens. So it's a lot harder to accidentally open. It's a lot harder to make a mistake and kind of drop anything or, you know, lose anything. So it's a lot easier. And on top of the memory card slot, you have buttons to push your memory cards out. You can't push the memory card. You gotta push the specific button, which is kind of protected a little bit by the memory card itself. Pretty good. There is 3 main things that I do not like about the 1DX2. First of all, just like the 120 FPS that everybody loves, everybody's gonna hate the file sizes of the 4K video. Honestly, I have not shot any 4K using the 1DX2 because I know that the files are gonna be huge. They're gonna be absolutely dominating my hard drives. So I haven't shot any 4K on it because I already know that it's gonna fill up super quick and it's just gonna be a pain. So I don't shoot 4K on the 1DX2. I do that on the GH5, I do that on any other camera, but the 1DX2 4K, but the 1080 is still really, really good. So, you know, I honestly don't mind. The second thing that really irks me about the 1DX2 is the AF during video. Now, this may just be a me problem, but honestly, I haven't found the right AF tracking mode to, you know, fit my videos because the autofocus likes to jump in and out a lot. Especially when I'm on the Ronin S, it's harder to see the screen than usual. It's just a lot harder to keep things in focus when I'm moving so fast. And I don't know if it's just me picking the right tracking mode and fixing up with the settings, because I've been through every single tracking mode, I've tried everything, and you know, it's just kind of annoying. I mean, the AF is great. It's super fast, super quiet, and super like awesome. It's just that when it comes to the tracking part in video, it does get a little bit of, you know, feather, a little bit of edge to it, and it's kind of annoying sometimes. But anyways, I'm shooting at 120 FPS, so honestly it doesn't really affect me that much. It's just, it would be a lot easier just in case, you know, I missed a moment or something. This next thing is not so much as a problem. It's just something that I think that would be really nice to have because I have it on the 6D, and you know, it's just something that I thought could be implemented into the 1DX2. And it's kind of taking pictures in video mode. So if I switch my camera to video mode, I can't take pictures at all. It just doesn't let me. So I wish that they kind of let that happen. So, you know, like when I flip my camera on right away just to catch a moment right away, I could do it. And I didn't have to switch over to picture mode, because there have been a ton of times where I turn my camera on, ready to take the picture, and it doesn't take the picture because I'm in video mode and I didn't realize it until it was too late. Implementing that may be pretty awesome, but you know, this camera's a few years old now, and you know, they're not gonna fix up the 1DX2, but maybe in the 1DX3, you know? What a mouthful. Anyways, guys, so I'm getting super hungry, and I'm gonna eat my Chipotle now. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Remember to comment below, let me know what your dream camera is, whether it's the 1DX2, the A7 III, or even a Canon Rebel or a Canon G7X. I don't care. Let me know what your dream camera is in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Stay awesome, have an amazing day, morning, night, wherever you watch from. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.